Hey there, viewers. Just thought I'd come and show you how I made this little rig I have for my iPod Touch 5th generation to fit an iPhone 5 Otterbox Defender Series case. For those of you that want the Defender Series for the iPhone 5, it's a little thicker than the iPod Touch Defender Series case. So I figured I'd go ahead and I bought it tonight, and I was like, I'm going to figure out some way to rig this to where it works perfectly. And I figured it out. It will not mess up the back of your iPod. It won't mess up the case or anything. I'm not paying for you doing something stupid and you actually messing it up. But I'm just saying, right now it's working fairly well. As I'll show you, I have the Otterbox here. Well, here's a little box it came in for the iPhone 5. I'm going to get a different color later on, but I just went and bought this one just for the sake of the video to kind of show you, yes, it works. I was having a little conversation on some forums about it. That's the hard shell with a little something extra in it, and that's the silicone. As I was saying, I was having some conversations on some forums about how it works, and I did get it to work perfectly. This is what I had on my iPod before. This is the Griffin protector, I want to say it is. It's a little harder than your average silicone case, so it is protective, but it's not as protective as I want. You know, I'm in the tree stand hunting, or I'm out with some buddies on an ATV track somewhere, so I wanted a little more protection. And I also wanted a little heavier feel than what the Otterbox for the iPod Touch 5th generation. I have the 32 gig in blue 5th gen iPod. I'm just dropping stuff all over the place right now. But yes, I'll show you how I get that to fit. Is what I did was, at first, when I got in the car, because I was like, I gotta see if it works. I gotta see if this works. Because I thought about it. The dimensions of this aren't really different from an iPhone. So I took this little instruction booklet, this little pamphlet. There's 3 trials to this, by the way, of how I got it to work. I took the instruction booklet at first, and I put it in the back, and it fit. It fit nice. Buttons were a little harder to use, but it worked. It has this little unsightly showing there where the Apple logo is supposed to go, but yeah, it works. Then I took, if I can find that little sheet of paper thing I had somewhere. It's somewhere on the floor. But I took 11 sheets of paper, just computer printer paper. I took that and I measured it out to about the same height as this without the top half, so it wouldn't show the little yellowness here in this window. It would be just like that, but the paper was there and it still fit. And while the paper is there, so the iPod gets brought up to the screen a little more, and so the buttons are a little more functional. Now, here's the third thing I've done. This is overall the best. I got the idea of how to make the iPod fit in the Otterbox case from a guy on here. His YouTube channel is ZVS Media, and his was, he put clay, like little stubs of clay, in the back of the case, and they fit. It made the iPod fit, and they work perfectly. What I've done is, it's not clay, so this is almost guaranteed to not mess your iPod up, as I said before. This is a little piece of a folder that I cut out to match the inside of this case. It's not a perfect match, as you can see. It's really rough cut, but yeah, it fits. It's that type of plastic folder, you know, one of these. I went and found it in my closet like a few minutes ago, actually. It's thick, as you can see. I mean, if you can hear how thick that is, I'll show you the piece I cut. I'll show you about how thick that little piece of plastic is. I mean, all it is a little plastic folder. And what I did was I just cut out a piece of paper first. Just took paper and I pressed in here and traced out the outside edge. I'll show you that little, actually here's that first one. I put it all in a little trash bag accidentally. But yeah, this was the first thing I did. Well, the second thing, this was that little 11 sheets of paper right there. Doesn't show in the back window. It works, but it's a little easier to use the iPod with this cut up piece of a folder here. And I mean, this folder is like, it's actually really thick. So it brings it up to the screen more. And the thing about this is it does cut off the little window there, so you can't really see anything there but black. But I mean, it works, it fits, it's functional, and I'll show you that now. How this does is, this folder, I cut it wide enough to where if you can see the bottom corners of the Otterbox itself, the folder kind of hits right there. That brings the iPod up closer to where the lock button is, so you can press the lock button easier. Make sure my screen is clean. Make sure no dust, dirt, debris within the case itself. Don't want to close it with dust and then figure it out and then like, oh, I gotta take it back off, clean it. Alright. Yeah, I'm not fooling you. That's the iPod Touch 5. I'll just show you here. Wait. I got a Facebook update on there. I'm on Wi-Fi right now. But yeah, you can see iPod right there on the screen. There's no battery meter or anything. So, close it up here. And I'll go ahead and slide the silicone on. Just to show you, I'm not tricking you on the device here. This is the same iPod Touch that I started with, but in an iPhone 5 Otterbox. As you can see, you can't see anything through the back window because of that piece of plastic there. But yes, the lock button, it's so effortless to push. I mean, it's almost like it's just an iPhone in here. And the ports, I found the lightning cable, and plug that in here, lightning bay. That fits, even I'll show you it hangs right there, so it's plugged in. And I'll show you this with an auxiliary cable, the headphone jack. It fits real nice in there. You can see it's hanging there by the cable, it's in. Yeah. So the ports all fit really nicely. Home button is easy to push. And the thing I need to show you, though, screen is very functional. Cameras, I'll show you that now. In fact, I'll show you the camera with the other thing. The bottom of the screen here, very easy to just push up where you get that little side menu. You can see me right there. There's the camera. Front facing camera, I'll show you. Very functional. It's working fine. And now I'll show you how the volume rockers have to work because it's a little different. The volume rocker down doesn't do anything. The volume rocker up is your volume rocker down. This little flap here where the silent switch would be on an iPhone is your volume up. And I'll show you how this is working. Play a song here. I'll just start it here. As you can see, I'm pressing the volume up, but it's going down. I'm pressing the lock switch and the volume's going up. It fits perfectly. These buttons push effortlessly with that little bit of a raised backing to it that I put in there, that little piece of plastic. It fits. It's so easy to press, and the case is durable. I mean, it's thick, and even like all Otterboxes, you get this carrying case thingy here, the belt clip. It's real nice. It covers up the camera though. That's the only downside. Figure out a rig for that later on. But I mean, that's all I wanted to show in the video. Really, I mean, it fits perfectly. It's got a little more bulk to it, so it feels like it's actually something in your hand, and it's very protective. I mean, I can say that. This is my first Otterbox. I had my iPod Touch 4th generation. For 3 years, I trolled around with this thing out on ATV tracks, racing, motocross, and everything. Longboarding, all that stuff. This case held up to the challenge. It was great. Like I said, I'll link the guy that gave me this idea. His name is it's ZVS Media. I'll link it in the bottom of the description. But if you want to get the Otterbox for your iPod Touch 5th generation. I highly recommend it. Like I said, everything on the bottom menu, that little scroll up menu here, everything works perfectly. I mean, it's so effortless to use now that I have that piece of backing to it. And like I said, this is like an Up and Up brand. It's a 1.5-inch binder bundle, it says. It's really thick. You most likely have one in the back of your closet. That's where I cut out the thing at to use in the back. Like I said, just take a sheet of paper and put in the bottom of the case, lay in there and trace it with a pencil, and then just take that and lay over this and trace out the outline, and then just cut around this plastic edge and get it to fit. And there you go. That's how you can get an iPod Touch in an iPhone 5 Otterbox with no hassle whatsoever. Thank you guys for watching. This video turned out longer than I imagined. So, like I've said it like 3 or 4 times now, I'll link ZVS Media's page at the bottom. This video that he came up with, he put clay in the back of his. I think I already said that too, but yeah, I'll show you his video and show you where I got the idea of how to get this to fit, and I made a little improvement on what he did. We're just kind of bouncing back and forth ideas here on modifications to Apple products. So thank you guys for watching, and I guess happy appling, happy apple casing, something. Anyway, goodbye.